Things I wish I had before bringing home a new puppy, so this doesn't happen. Now, if you're like us, you live in a very confined space, but you need something that makes your pup feel like they're going outside and getting the fresh air and potting on the grass like they're supposed to. That's where the porch potty comes into play. All right, let's go ahead and open up the box. All right, so once you open up the box, go ahead and put the flaps to the side like I did right here. And the first thing you see if you put the add-on with your purchase is you'll actually go ahead and see a red fire hydrant, which this is something you can just fill with water. There's a fill line right there. Now it is optional, but it does help the fire hydrant actually stay on the surface without falling over if there's wind or anything from the natural elements. All right, so moving on, you will see 4 panels. There should be 2 long ones and 2 short ones. So this right here, the one that actually says porch potty, will be one of the longer pieces. There will also be a drainage hose included in the box, which looks like this, as well as the manual and the instructions on how to actually get this thing put together. So those were the 2 longer pieces. This right here is the grass pad with the actual case surrounding it. And then you'll also find the 2 shorter pieces inside the box as well. So let me go ahead and grab those. All right, so now that we went ahead and got all of our products, we need to go ahead and make some space because it's time to go ahead and assemble this. All right, so I went ahead and put all the pieces right here on the centerpiece of my sofa. And now let's go ahead and put this thing together. You will see the manual and the hose. So just go ahead and open that up. When you open the manual, you'll see steps to teach a puppy on how to use the porch potty. There'll be directions about the surface, placing a pee pad on the porch potty before your pup actually learns that this is the spot that they need to go. A lot of times puppies, they just don't know. They don't know anything. They don't know where to go to the bathroom. So you're going to actually have to take a little time and train them. But once you train them, it'll be completely worth it because then you don't have to worry about them going everywhere in your house, as I showed in the very beginning of this video. When you open the white piece of paper, it will just basically show you the directions, and we're going to go over that right now. First, let's go ahead and start with the panels. So you want to make sure to grab both of the longer panels as well as the shorter panels, just so you can go ahead and separate them and know the difference as to the longer ones and the shorter ones. You can just put them together like I did here to know which ones are longer and which ones are shorter. But just a tip, basically the porch potty logo will be on the longer one. So that kind of gives you an idea. From here, you want to go ahead and get all 4 panels, and you want to go ahead and strip the plastic off of them because the idea is to make a box. That way we can put everything else together. But before we put everything inside the box, we need to actually create the box. So just go ahead and remove all this plastic lining from each of the 4 panels. Once you remove all the plastic wrap, you can go ahead and put a longer piece with a shorter piece in an L shape just like this. You should find a little baggie of 2-wing bolts that look just like these. I'll go ahead and show you what they look like up close. But basically for each corner, you will want to use 2 of these 2-wing bolts. Again, you will want to put a longer piece with a shorter panel and go ahead and put it in an L shape, align the holes, and from here you can go ahead and use the 2 wing bolts to go ahead and screw in. You don't need any tools for this, you just need to use your fingertips. And you just want to repeat this process for all 4 sides. Now that you have the panels attached, you want to go ahead and place it on the floor because now we need to get the hose. All right, so go ahead and remove the hose from the packaging like I do right here. And then also remove the grass padding from the placemat. Then you want to go ahead and flip it over on the back, and you'll see at the end of the hose there's this little piece that you can unscrew. So go ahead and unscrew that just like I did. Now, as you saw, a piece did fall on the floor. You want to make sure you do not lose this piece because you will need it in order to screw it back in. So from here, you can go ahead and grab the part that has the black ring and insert it into the bottom of the placemat. Now, with the piece that you just unscrewed from the top, go ahead and flip the mat back over and screw it right back on from this side. Now you probably noticed that you have a lot of extra hose. You can actually go ahead and funnel this underneath the porch potty just like I did right here. And then you want to go ahead and pull it all the way out until there's nothing left. Once you funneled the entire hose, go ahead and press the tray. That way it's assembled onto the frame. From here, go ahead and grab the synthetic grass and firmly place onto the tray. Once your porch potty is assembled, you can go ahead and place it on your balcony. Now, just keep in mind this is designed, at least the one I have in specific, is designed for a balcony. So I went ahead and put it on the balcony. And as you saw, I sprayed it with some spray, which basically tells the dog, or my pup in this case, to go ahead and pee and poop in this designated location. You may not have to do that with your dog, but for my dog, he's still new and still, growing. So we just want to make sure he understands where exactly to go potty and where not to. As you can see, my pup Toby did finally go ahead and use the restroom, but he was a little bit shy, so he did it when we weren't paying attention. But I thought it was the time to go ahead and give him a treat for his good behavior. Toby, come here. Come here. Are you glad you got the porch potty? Are you glad you got the porch potty today? Huh? Are you glad you got the porch potty? You are? You glad you got the porch potty?